African woman, confident woman, a special woman, beautiful woman. I cannot deny African women, they strong. She's on fire. She's a blessing for my home. A cultural woman. She is a royal woman. A loving and caring mother. Hey, Mama Africa. She there for Zambia. She there for Zimbabwe. She there for Senegal. Mama Africa. Black is beautiful. So beautiful, so adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. Black is beautiful, so adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. African woman, confident woman, a special woman, beautiful woman. I'm loving her vibing. Beautiful woman, she is enticing.
Hello.
Strong African woman, she is the full package. Very special woman, a special kind of body with a heaven's package. Liberia, Rwanda, Nigeria, Uganda, Africa, Mama Africa, Tanzania, Madagascar, Kenya, South Africa, Ethiopia, Namibia. We not forget Algeria, Ghana, Somalia, Angola. Black is beautiful, so beautiful, so adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. Black is beautiful, so adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. African woman, confident woman, a special woman, beautiful woman.
Just dance mixing. Sorry, I'm fire diesel.
African woman, confident woman, a special woman.
There you go. Please share the video for us.
I cannot deny African women, they're strong. She's on fire. She's a blessing for my home. A cultural woman. She is a royal woman. A loving and caring mother. Hey, Mama Africa. She there for Zambia. She there for Zimbabwe. She there for Senegal. Mama Africa. Black is beautiful. So beautiful, so adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. Black is beautiful, so adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. African woman, confident woman, a special woman, beautiful woman. I'm loving her vibing. Beautiful woman, she is enticing.
Well, welcome.
Strong African woman.
Hey, Eric, welcome.
She is the full
Hope you're doing well in your end.
Special woman.
Lwani, how are you, sis? Welcome. Happy Sunday, girl.
Nigeria, Uganda, Africa, Mama Africa, Tanzania, Madagascar, Kenya, South Africa, Ethiopia, Namibia. We not forget Algeria, Ghana, Somalia, Angola. Black is beautiful, so beautiful.
Hey, what's up?
So adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. Black is beautiful, so adorable.
I want to read you today.
What a beauty to behold.
So I wear my glasses.
Confident woman, a special woman.
You can hear that, Eric.
Beautiful woman.
Just dance mixing. Sorry, I'm fire diesel.
All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Split Talk, the Ninth Generation. My name is Grace Goa. I am the president of the Liberian Women Advocacy Network International, Lwani, and I'm also a member of Legacy Holding Foundation. As you can see on Facebook, we did an awareness, a hygiene and rape awareness project in Liberia. We do it every month. So we did it for May. We did it this Saturday that passed on May 22nd, and it was very nice. Everybody got a dignity kit. Thank to our brother, Sir Eric Denter, for giving us that training, and we were able to exercise it in Liberia today. So we thank him, and we thank him for being a part of Lwani. And I also want to appreciate Vera Adi, our vice president. She's on here with me. She will come on and talk a little bit more. But Vera, I really appreciate you. Thank you for all your hard work.
Oh, thank you too. Same here.
Yeah, can you please introduce yourself?
Good evening. My name is Vera Adi. I'm the Vice President for Liberian Women Advocacy Network International. We deal with sexual gender-based violence. Like Grace said, every month we have an awareness initiative that we carry out, giving out dignity kits and providing awareness on sexual gender-based violence to people in various communities. And so we are grateful for that. We're, like she said, we're grateful to Eric that he trained in that aspect of the work, even though we have more trainings that he has to do. And we also want to thank our team, Lwani, who contribute monthly towards our awareness project. We are all a team when we do this together. Also want to say thank you to them, and we appreciate them.
Yeah, we want to say thank you to our team. In person of Richard Luanga, Frida Bembois, Margaret Johnson, Eric Denter, Beverly Omija, Peter Kennedy, Vera Addy, and myself, humble servant, Grace Brunel Corentin Goa. Thank you guys for being on. So you on share the video today. We're going to talk about women empowerment. Women empowerment. You know, most time people just use the words or maybe the statement or what it is, Vera. It's a title. They just use it. Women empowerment. Women empowerment. Today we're going to teach on women empowerment. We want to learn from one another. So we want you to engage on the platform with us. We will be talking about women empowerment, what it entails, because people use the word so loosely. Just how they use advocacy loosely. You know, so somebody can talk on Facebook and say, "Oh yeah, that's an advocate," and that's how they use women empowerment loosely. But women empowerment is a very sensible and very important title. You know, women empowerment is very important. How are we empowering each other as women? And how is it that the men in our lives empower us as women? Because remember, women, we are always the vulnerable community. In any community, we are always the vulnerable set of a group of people in any community, in any society, and in the world. So most time women need empowerment. It's not that men too don't need it, because people always come after me, "Oh, you're only talking about women," but they don't understand. Women and children are more vulnerable in all society, in any community, and women empowerment is needed in any society, because women were always made to feel that they were second class to men. So that's why in this day and age, in 2021, the world has changed. Women are supposed to be, you know, up there now in society doing things. But how do we empower one another, and how do we empower ourselves? But if you want to know the end, you have to look at the beginning. That's what most people, if you want to know the end, you have to look at the beginning. So women empowerment can be defined is to promote the sense of self-worth in a woman, their ability to determine their own choices. You have to promote them, but you got to be able to allow them to determine what choice they want to make. So if you empower the woman and she living her life, she decide that, you know what, I want to do this in my life. I want to become an engineer. And you say, "Oh no, you can't become an engineer. Why you want to be engineer? That thing, that main thing." No, you can't do that. You have to allow her to make her own choices, and the right to influence society in the way that in which that she wants to influence society. Some people are put down. They would be told that, "Oh no, you know, you can't do that. You able to do that kind of stuff? Are you brave to do that?" You can't do that. You have to make them make their choices, and they have to be able to influence with the choices that they make, so another woman can benefit from it. So that's the broader perspective of women empowerment. Is women empowerment really needed in the society? It is. You have to empower women. We have to empower one another, and we have to be empowered by others. So therefore, the children that are coming after us, they will see the example and live the life that they're supposed to live, and even do better because things will change. Just the other day, I was in the car driving with my son. I was yesterday, and he started showing me the new electric car. That car don't need any gas. I'm not talking about the recent one they have here now, because people got the recent one. I got some couple of friends who already bought it. But I'm just saying the ones that will not, I mean, will not need gas at all. If you see it, look like a spaceship. It looks like a spaceship. And it was looking so funny to me. I said, wow, I was just looking, I said, wow, this car people will ride it, really? But the way things are changing in life now, you never know. So people will ride it. Maybe it will be the next thing for Boston, my 9-year-old son, his children. Yeah, because the car is just like spaceship. But the people riding on the road. Somebody told me that maybe 2 or 3 people already own it in California. I mean, it's just it look like you're watching a space show. But I just think things will change. So as things change, although we empower women, as we know in our own capacity, when they grow up, they tend to empower other people in the best way they know how. But what kind of example are we setting as a society of women for our children to be able to set a better example for the next generation of children that will be in their league to come? So women empowerment is very important for the society. We have to be very careful who we align with when it comes to women empowerment, because some people, they come and say, oh, women empowerment, but then their empowerment is to let the other people suck up to them. It's not women empowerment. You have to make people free. When you're empowering, when there is women empowerment among a group of people, everybody have to be free to be able to give their opinion. Doesn't mean that you come and can't kiss speech with me, or me and you can be friends because I tell you, I don't know, I look at it this way. We disagree to agree. So that's a little basic information of women empowerment. I will let Rock come in a little bit before we expand.
Yeah, the thing is about women empowerment is that it's a process of lifting each other up. And the problem we have nowadays is among us women is that we try to make other women look inferior to us. We try to make them second class to us instead of them bringing them up to our level, or reaching down to their level and giving and grabbing them by the hand and say, look, you are down there and you don't belong down there. Let me help to lift you up to where I am, and lift the person up positively and genuinely. But we find that is not what is happening. Most women, they rather another woman who is not all the way there, they rather step on her even lower than to reach their hand down to her and say, look, let me give you a helping hand. How about you walk with me a little bit? Let me show you the loops. Let me show you the rule. Let me show you certain things. Or let me lead you in the path that I have traveled that brought me to where I am, so that you can get to where I am. Because if I succeed and I lift another woman up and she succeeds, we all have succeeded. We all have succeeded, and that is what in women empowerment is about, and that's what we should be doing. But unfortunately, that is not what we're doing. Instead, we are fighting each other. We are trying to look for the best possible way how to make the other person look so ugly. We're trying the best possible way to keep the other person so suppressed that they can't even lift their head above anything, and it's not a good thing. That's why the world of women is not getting anywhere. That's why we are struggling, even though women have made a lot of impacts in a lot of things in the world, in a lot of areas of things in profession and in other places, or other areas of life. But still, we are struggling. We haven't gotten there yet. I know people always say, oh, Hillary Clinton, she I don't know, she shattered the ceiling, and this person can busted through it. But if you sit down and think about it, have we really busted through the ceiling, or the ceiling is still shattered and needs to be busted through? And if you ask me, in my opinion, the ceiling is still shattered. It hasn't been busted through yet, because instead of us busting through it, we are trying to make sure those those underneath us don't give us the strength for us to be able to bust through it. And that's wrong. We need to put down our attitude. We need to put that attitude away. The women that we see out there that we feel like are not up to our level, which is absolutely wrong, because in my opinion, all women are up to the same level. Not because you feel like you here and you feel like somebody else is there, make that person less of a woman than you. That is wrong. We are all on the same level as far as I'm concerned. But in moving forward in life, some people go at a slower pace and other people go at a faster pace. Now, if you are at a faster pace and you see your sister coming along who is at a slower pace, doesn't mean that she's not up to your level. It just means that it's taking her a little bit more time for her to move forward with the things that she needs to do. So it is on us who feel like we have moved forward a little bit to look behind and say, look, you're moving a little bit slower, sister. What can I help you to do? How can I help you? In what way can I help you to move a little bit faster so both of us can be on the same pace?
Yep. Thank you, Mrs. Addy. And the thing is that most people get it wrong when it comes to education. As soon as they go to school and they have maybe 2 degrees, or they have become, have a master degree, or maybe they earn a doctorate degree, then they start to act like they're better than other women. It happens mostly among women. And that's the reason why society has stressed on women empowerment, because most time when our sisters and our aunties, and even in our own families, when people go to school, then they tend to look down at other people who never went to school. When you go to school, doesn't mean that you are better than any of your people around you, because some of you have been to school, you got doctorate degree, you can't even express yourselves. You get to talk, and people been going up, oh, damn, that person, they say this is a doctor, or this person got a PhD. Then people start to wonder. So women empowerment is very important, because it helps you to encourage people to gain skills and how they call it, and education, and to remove the obstacle from their way. It doesn't mean that when you're in a leadership position, then you start to look down at the other people and start to look down at them. Education does not, and I saw it on this show called Married to Medicine. I also see it on all the empowerment show, and Black women, we suffer from this the most, because when you watch the people, the other races, when they're having this reality TV, you don't see that much, because I try to watch the different shows so I can get a hint of the people, society, and their way of life, their culture. And you will see among Black women, I don't care where they're from, once they went to school, they will start to put the other women down. That happened recently. I think I made a post on it on Facebook. I made a post on Married to Medicine. Most of the women on the platform Married to Medicine, they are all doctors, medical doctors. Some of them are dentists and things like that. And then they have the other doctors that are men. They're married to other women that are not doctors. But you will see most of the time, the ones that are doctors will always talk down to the male doctors' wives, because they are not doctors. And, well, you dumb, you this and that. So it doesn't mean that because you went to school to be a doctor and somebody else decided to say, you know what, I'm going to school for another thing, but I fell in love with a doctor, does not make you better than the male doctor's wife. Not because you have the doctor title. And it happened a lot among Black women in all areas. I watched another show from Nigeria. It was the same thing was happening. The educated Nigerian women started to talk down on the other women, and those other women have other skills. They can do other things, but yet, they are not respected because they never went to school, and they never really earned maybe a PhD. And most of the women who did not even earn a PhD, they have more money because they got other talents. They're using the little talents that they have to gain, maybe a businesswoman opening her store, and before you look, her business is big. So it doesn't, in most of the cases. So that's why I asked one day that, is that the case for Black women that want to go to school? Because Black women are the more learned women in America right now. They are the highest percentage rate of women that really went to school and learned. So is it the case that what y'all went to school for, to put other women down because they did not go to school? But most of these women, they're doing things that are even greater than y'all who went to school. Y'all can't even really express yourself when they put you on a real platform to speak. But y'all went to school. Now, we're not putting y'all down, but we're just saying it's always the case with women who have learned, always put the other women down who have not learned, and they talk about women empowerment. That is not women empowerment. Because if you in the higher hierarchy of the leadership position, because you have learned, if you cannot bring women together to be together and stay together for you to accomplish something, then it means that you have not accomplished anything. You have failed. You have not made an impact. So all the way you're so educated, but you cannot even bring women together because you don't have that skill. Because once you reach that standard of life, you have to learn all that through college. That you have to learn leadership skills, how to bring people together, how to encourage women to do things, and you have failed in that means that you have failed in your own career. So you cannot be in a position and try to speak down on other women because you have learned. That's not women empowerment. Women empowerment is encourages people to gain the skills and knowledge that you will allow them to overcome obstacles in life or in the work environment, for them to be able to be free. Being that you learn, so you will encourage and say, oh, you know what, this is what you need to do and what you need to do. So you didn't know this thing, I will give you the other information. This is where you can go and look for this, and you can get you don't have to work here for them to pay you $19 an hour. You deserve more than that. So go to human resources and talk on this, that, and that. That's women empowerment in the office space. That is women empowerment in the office space. Your sister doing business on the website, on social media. You see something wrong, you can call her in her inbox, or you can go in her inbox. You can call her and say, sis, I see you doing this, but maybe I had an idea. Maybe you could do this, that. So many times we have done it to people. For myself, we saw them doing stuff. We call them and gave them information. I think you should do it this way. You will sell more stuff, and that's women empowerment. That is women empowerment. Even after you are getting that knowledge, or you are getting that idea, even if they don't recognize you after you give it to them, the mere fact that you give it to them is a blessing on your life. Let's read what Eric said. Prophet Jim Sanko, welcome. God bless you, Prophet. God bless you, and thank you for praying for us. Eric said, you are right on the point, ladies. Most often we say women's empowerment, people think it's only about economic opportunity. While this can be a piece of it, it is more about providing equal access for women to gain information, skills, competencies to make own choices and decisions. Yep, that's what women empowerment is all about. That's what women empowerment. You empower your friend to be able to go out there. Do not hide information, because most of us, when we know something, we try to hide it. Oh, I know that thing, but I'm not going to can't get out of who can't tell her so she can know it and can't do more than me. I'm giving her that information. Then that is just evil. It means that you are not trying to help a sister out. Girl, what is girl magic for us to help one another? Like, I get information, I hear something, I learn about a banking way to invest your money. I call Vera, say, Vera, this is a way to invest the money. Or the people say this, that, and the other. Vera will then call another person that she knows. There's a way here. The people saying that you can invest your money this way, and you will read this with all taxes on it and stuff like that. That's women empowerment. We just want to get the basic, and that's women empowerment. You have to be able to share information. You have to be able to love love the sisterhood. You have to be able to not take everything to heart when something happens, because everybody got their own choices. They have their own ideas. They got a way they want to do things for themselves. So you can't detect to other, because some people, when you in friendship with them, they start to detect to you and you don't like it, and they say, oh no, you know what? I can't be friends with her, or she thinks she too know, or she thinks to do, and not knowing the person just trying to help you. And you have to keep the sisterhood going. Some people don't understand it that way. It just have to be their way. That is not women empowerment. What are we teaching our children in the society that's coming after us? What are we teaching our children in the society? To be mean girls, to just sit down around and just talk about other women, and you see them doing something, and you call your friend, you just talk about them and put them down. How are you empowering women? Because after you get off that phone with that other lady, she's going to call somebody else and just tell the person what you just said for your other sister. Is that empowering? It's wrong. We need to come together. Even if you don't know me and you don't really like me, you don't want to empower me, then you don't just have to say anything about me. Leave me alone. That's all you need to do. That's empowerment. I mean, you don't know me. You see me, you don't like me. You see me, you don't like nothing I do. Then just leave my name at least. So you're not giving me information. You're not giving me anything. I mean, it's okay. That's fine. Everybody can be happy with everybody. But I mean, the best thing you would do now is just, since you don't know me, you don't like me, then you just leave me alone. But when you take out the phone and call other women and start to talk about me, then what example are you setting? And you come back and say, oh, women empowerment, we doing this for women. You are wrong, and you just fake, and God is not going to smile on you. You can come on. But that's true. That's true.
That's true, and I think we all need to understand that, empowerment is a very powerful word. and we just float it around just for the sake of floating it around, for the sake of popularity or women empowerment and women's this and women's that. We only speak, but there is no action behind what we say we are speaking of. There's this family member of mine, and she said to me, I always find things to show her to do it. I would say, oh, you like doing this. And I found this information on the computer or on the internet, and this is what you can do, and this is what you can do, this is what you shouldn't do, this is what you shouldn't do. And she really she has really embraced me, and she said, you know what, I like you. She said, because you never keep anything from me. She said, even when I don't ask, you always looking for things. When I'm saying you to go look for it, you looking for it to give it to me. And I said, I need to give it to you because she has said to me before, she said, I might not have the best of education, but I'm not a fool. I'm not a stupid person. And I said to her, she said, I might not speak the best English. I might not have the best of education, but I know other things that I am. And I said, of course. I said, and I went to school, and I think I kind of speak good English, but I don't know the things that you know. The things that you do, I don't know it. I cannot walk the walk that you are walking because she got some skills that I can't even lie to anybody. I cannot even perform the things that she performs. And I told her, I said, you have no need to feel bad about yourself. Whether you speak good English, whether you don't have the best of education, that's not what life is about. Now, speaking good English, you can always improve on it. Going to get an education, it's never too late to get an education. But the skills that you have, your skill set, especially specifically if it is a gift from God, is something that nobody can replicate. Nobody can replicate it. They will try to replicate what you're doing, but at the end of the day, they can replicate. I saw a quote where it said that people can replicate your end result, but they can never replicate your creativity because your creativity is original. It is of God. I've said that to say that we all can learn something from each other. Even the woman who you say stupid that can speak good English, if she's mad about something and she tried to express herself, or maybe she see a certain situation and she tried to express a view, and you try to demean her by telling her English is bad, her English is terrible. I mean, in public forum, not one-on-one, or going and telling her, oh sis, can you I have a conversation, and you tell her one-on-one, that's different. But to ridicule her publicly, if you were on a platform having a conversation about something on a platform, having and people ridicule her publicly on the platform, that's demeaning her. That's not women's empowerment. That is not women empowerment. You're trying to suppress her because regardless how bad her English is, she's still saying something that makes sense. Common sense don't. You don't have to speak good English to have common sense. You can have common sense and don't know how to speak good English. When we see our sisters like that, we either got to bring them on closer to us, where we can speak to them one-on-one where they are lacking, and say, sis, I see that you have this skill, you have that skill, you're a very personable person, you're a person with strong opinion, you're a person who knows how to express yourself, but when it comes to certain speaking language, I see that you're short in that area. How can I help you improve on that? Or I suggest, this, look here, and it will help you to improve your speaking, your language, your vocabulary. It will help you improve. If you need help, I'm here to assist you. Anytime, call me, I will assist you. That's women empowerment. But if you go to publicly ridicule that person, then you are not you don't deserve to call yourself somebody who's in for women empowerment. We all have shortcomings in the work that we do. We are all not perfect. But hey, we all still have to come together. We all need to bring each other closer. Women empowerment means women upliftment, holding together in unity. I always say that the Bible says that in the midst of unity, you can command the blessings of God. How can us women say we are preaching women empowerment and cannot even come together in unity? How are we ever going to be able to command the blessings of God for women? How?
Yeah.
That's why you find even domestically in some home, I've heard stories and I've watched movies where you see the woman is well educated in the home. I mean, she dresses well, she wear the finest of things, she speak the best of English, her diction is on point, her vocabulary is on point. And you got a house girl in the house who they consider a house girl. She's cleaning, she's cooking, and she's doing it. And the man end up divorcing the woman in the house and marrying a house girl. What do you think the reason for that is? Because having good vocabulary and having good diction and wearing the finest of thing and looking and putting a lot of makeup and looking fine and passing around and saying you are this and that, that's not what to life. Life is so full of so many things. It's all kinds of dimensions of things things life is full of. And just because you're educated don't mean you have it together, sister. So by you going and demean another woman just because she speaks bad English, you're on the wrong track for empowerment. And my suggestion to us, all women, like I said, is to start bringing people closer to us. Because you know what? That woman who you feel is beneath you, if you bring her closer to you, you will find out that something about her that make you beneath her. She has something
Exactly.
that you don't have that will put you beneath her. So in your mind, you're thinking you all high and mighty and you're up here and she's not up to your standard. You will never know that if she's up to your standard or not until you bring her closer and find out, you know what? It looks like I the one who not up to the woman's standard. I'm way below her and I got some learning to do from her. I need to work along with her. I need to teach her some things and she needs to teach me some things so that we can move forward.
And although we call ourselves a part of progress in the nation, in the society, in the world, although we call ourselves a part of progress as women, it is known the inequality faced by women is obvious. The gender inequality in this world is obvious. You can't ignore it. So we already have that gender inequality when it comes to women. And then if we start to devour one another and destroy one another and not help one another, not encourage one another, where are we? If we start to destroy one another, our the core of somebody else, where are we? The reason why I say is that learning to respect the principle of life is very important. Learning to respect the principle of life is very important. Recently, there was a thing here on Facebook. We saw Portia Williams from my Atlanta Housewives. We saw her on the show. She introduced one new girl on the show, introduced her, they call her feeling. Falling or something, introduce her to her husband right on the show TV. People recorded the thing, it was recorded, and she said, "Oh, meet my friend," everything. Introduce her to her husband. Just for us to see in 3 months time, Portia is engaged to the husband. The woman just and her husband just got a divorce. In less than 3 months, Portia is now engaged, and that girl was her friend. Where are the boundaries? Where the principle? How are we respecting principle here? Where is the girl code? The woman empowerment in Liberia. What had happened recently? Somebody called me and said, "Oh, Grace, I saw you talking about women empowerment from Liberia and the Magdala Cooper and that thing that happened on Facebook. And I saw you talking about it. And maybe because Magdala is a Liberian, you shouldn't be talking that other woman now for our country." It said that's so stupid to me.
Yeah.
Women are women, whether they're from your country or not. We women, we have suffered too much of inequality in the world. It is so visible that everywhere we meet one another, we just supposed to automatically lift one another up. For another woman to be friends with another woman, and you preaching women empowerment all in Liberia, you got the organization going on with little girls, and you telling them about women empowerment, just for us to find out that you were friends with somebody for 15 years, that you and the person were like sisters going up and down, and now you are married to the woman ex-husband, the father of her child. Is that women empowerment? Where are the principles that were laid down by our mothers that told us that girl code, that when I'm friends with you, I cannot be married to your husband even after you divorce him? Where is the woman empowerment? I thought you're supposed to be empowering that woman and encouraging her since she went through a divorce and say, "Oh, you my sister. I know things will pick up," and you start to help her. Maybe she down, she depressed, and you there to encourage her, go on girls trip. But in fact, you put a dagger in the woman by bump, and you got married to her ex-husband, but you were her friend. You were there for the birth of her child. You were friends with she and this man together. How can that be women? Well, I mean, where is the women empowerment in this whole thing? Right, you can come in.
I was saying not only that, on top of doing all that, you tell her to go and produce a marriage certificate that she was married to the man before. How do you do that? So where is the empowerment? Where is the boundary? How are you uplifting her during her time of grief? How are you uplifting her during her time of heartbreak, her time of trials that she's going through? What is it that you are doing that is to uplift her? Okay, let's just agree to say, okay, you marry her ex-husband, it shouldn't have happened. Why you can they say if you don't have anything good to say, then don't say nothing? Why not just keep quiet? Why ask her to produce documentation of her marriage to this man?
Yeah.
That's not women empowerment. That's just plain old wickedness, spiritual wickedness in high places. You know, so all this time you're telling us that you're involved in women empowerment. Is that the empowerment? Are those the skills that you are going to pass on to the people who you are teaching empowerment in Liberia? The skill of being deceptive to a friend, or being deceptive to another woman just for the sake of gaining something from that woman. You know, it's not good. That's not women empowerment. And then some people, some other women start there and agree with. I don't even understand that person who called you and said because the woman is from another country and because this other lady is from Liberia, so we're supposed to support that. We're supposed to support wrongdoing because she's a Liberian and the other lady is a non-Liberian. Who says things
But
like
the thing is that Vera is not even about support. The thing is that
I'm saying?
we Lwani,
Calling out,
Liberia,
I have to do with what country the woman is from.
exactly. But my point is that even let's forget about the support. Lwani, Liberian Women Advocacy Network International. One of the things we do is to also empower women a lot. So my thing is that I'm not even looking at the part where maybe the woman is from another country. What I'm looking at is for a reputable woman in our country to do such a thing, and you talking to little girls, you going from community, because there's pictures on she and this other woman that she now married to the woman husband, they were on pictures encouraging little girls and things like that. So how are you going to explain that to those little children that you encourage? Is that behavior right? Now we're not saying you're going, we know things can happen. Maybe you know the person from a distance and you are not even friends. Maybe later on in life, the person and I made divorce, you got married to the person. We understand that. But we see people who claim to be sisterhood. You got sisterhood going, or maybe the person that your family member and you got some kind of real close relationship going, and then the person divorced their husband and you married the husband. That's the part that you got. So you who as a person having a organization that empower women, you talk about women empowerment yourself. How do you go and explain to our little girls that what happened was okay? How can you tell them that, oh yeah, but the woman and man, they wasn't married, they didn't have marriage certificate? That's a poor excuse because Muslim people, everybody know that they don't even marry with certificate. It's rare for them to even do that. When they do that, they really just maybe want to do that, but it's not their culture. So are you going to tell our little girls that, oh yeah, I did it, this is my husband, but these same little girls saw that this man was with another woman and this woman was your friend. So how are you going to explain that? That's what we're talking about. You know, why are we teaching our children? Where are the branches? What are the branches that we are setting when it comes to the whole thing? What the upliftment are we bringing to our among ourselves for our children, the next generation to see and say, okay, this is what happened. Like when we were growing up, our parents then were friends in the yard, and they were there for one another. When one person deliver, you will see the neighborhood or women and they will nurse the other person. Sometimes they will cook and carry food to the person. Or carry that food to my Esther. She just had a baby. They will carry the horse, tell the person who stay with them or the children, carry that pepper soup to my Esther. She just deliver. That whole week or 2 weeks, you see people be sending that woman food. And that's what we grow up seeing. But what are we teaching the children that are coming after us to grow up seeing? That the too much attention and the hatred and the malice, the jealousy, the envy is already among us as a whole. And then now this, what is the empowerment? We come on the social media, we go on all these platforms, and we pay all these newspapers to carry our stories. Oh, we are this and we are that. Now knowing in reality, in actuality, we are none of those things. Our children are not learning anything from us. We are telling our daughters now it's okay. You know, you can be friends with a girl, and as soon as she start dating a boy, after some time you can just date him. You know, we never grew up seeing our parents do that. We did not grow up seeing our parents do that. You know, and that's what we are talking about. But we moving forward. We're gonna give you ways to empower women because we come here, we talk about the issue, and then we give you how to fix it. So we're gonna give you ways to empower women, to empower one another as women, and we're also gonna give the men ways to empower women because they always have to know that women. I mean, the inequality about women, the gender alone is everybody know about it. So you as a person, as a man, you have to empower your sisters. You also have to empower your wife. You have to empower your church members. You have to empower your neighbors, the women. You see them, you want to give them, show them respect. Like Diana saying, this is why men don't respect women. Yeah, they don't respect women because we as women, we just don't really respect ourselves. We don't show that example. We don't stand our ground. You in the house with a man, or you friends with the person, and the husband coming after you. Sometimes you even gotta tell your friend. You even gotta tell your friend. I think you deal with that man according there. He will not even come back after you again and say, "Oh hell." He will have the respect for you. But because if a man is even going over a woman and choose to come after you, and he knows that you know that woman, that man he got no respect for you, man. Says he got no respect for you. He just want to sleep with you and use you because he just see you as trash. He see you as trash because he know that you friends with the person. You and the person are good friends. Even after if he even get to leave it well as that case and married to you, he will never respect you for certain things. Period. At the end of the day, in the long run, something will not be right. He will never respect you because he know what you did to somebody else. And he know that he had to leave a relationship to be with you, and you knew that person so well. He will always have his guys up. Like, damn, that woman, I don't know if I can even trust her. He will always, there will be always that doubting spirit in him when it concerns you, and it's that doubting spirit when in marriage, it can be a hell of a marriage. So that's why the men don't really even respect you. How can you, how is it okay for you to even want to do that? How is it okay for the man to even have the guts to come and approach you after he been with your friend for so many years? How is it okay that you will allow him to even tell you that disrespect to yourself as a woman? You're not even supposed to allow that. It depends on the kind of friend you have. You can choose it. You know what? I will tell my friend. But if you know you really want your friend to be in a relationship, you can just deal with him good. When he move from there, he will know not to bring that nonsense around you again. And that is just that you just walk away and you still keep your friendship with your friend and tell him and teach him that what you're doing is not what you're doing it to me today. I would never do it because you're a foolish man. But you don't want to do that to my friend because my friend is a decent person. You start to tell him about the decency of your friend. That's women empowerment, girls. That is women empowerment, sis. That what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Not to go there and start feeling, the men, and after all, they were not married. We never learned that. Maybe some of y'all learned that from me. I just never learned it. So we're going to change and start teaching you ways. Except you won't come in for us to end this thing. We're going to come in and start teaching them ways to empower one another and how we can get empowerment from men as well. Your thing on mute.
There's not much more to be said about that topic. The bottom line is that what you do to somebody else, the Bible says retribution is sure. In the back of that man's mind, he's saying that he probably thinking to himself, if this girl could do this to her friend, what makes me think that she would not do it to me? Maybe if she see a male friend of mine, she could leave me and go after my male friend. So that man would never for you. It's just that whole thing with sometimes it's just temporary. It goes so far and no further, and then it comes. And that's what happened in those cases. You don't do people dirty and think you're gonna get away with it free. Some women are comfortable with that. They will just continue doing the dirty work. But if you're a decent woman, if you're a woman who care for other women, if you're a woman who believe in uplifting another woman, if you're a woman who believe in that if a woman has problem, to sit and talk with her genuinely, to give her genuine advice, to hold her hand up while she's crying, to wipe her tears, and to build her confidence back up, that should be the kind of woman we should all be. But if you're not that kind of woman, which we've seen on a blue app, just for that simple case, I mean, it's not that simple, but just for that case with what you explain, we've seen so many people exhibit what they truly believe when it comes to women taking other people's husbands or other people's boyfriends. They show themselves right on this blue app. So what else is there to say? But retribution is sure. What you do to somebody else, it will come back to you. That's the word of God.
And you gotta be very, very careful who you're bringing your cycle.
Yes.
Thank God for in your space and in your cycle. Thank God for Facebook. We see all the people for who they are. We seen them as a day. I mean, what they put on Facebook, what they write, the hints they throw on other people, the way they respond to other things that are happening. Most Liberian women feel that there was nothing wrong with this, and most of the time, most of them just thought that because the other woman was not from Liberia, so they didn't even care. Yeah, but she not Liberian, and someone else thought it was nothing wrong with it because of their way of life. Someone else saw the man and do it, so they didn't care. And these are the things we're talking about. We're moving on because how can we turn our collective entity, our empathy into action? How can we turn our empathy, our sorrow, the way we feel about each other, the pity that we feel for other people? How can we collectively turn it into action? By empowering one another. We empower one another. So you boost your friend's self-esteem. You boost your friend's self-esteem. I come to Vera, I say, Vera, I know, man. I just don't like how my nose looking. First of all, get your nose. All right, what's really wrong with your nose? You look nice. You start to tell your friend the qualities that she have in her. You start to boost her self-esteem. The qualities, that things that she can do, what you admire. I was on a platform with another lady from another country, but she's from Africa. She's married to a Togolese. And she and myself were just having a conversation on the phone because we were doing some work together. And she told me, she said, Grace, she said, you're very creative. So I said, wow. I said, I am. She said, yeah. I said, yeah. So I started thinking about it. I said, well, yeah, I'm actually very creative. I am. So then I started thinking, when she was showing me something on the computer, I told her, I said, but you got a very good marketing skills. She said, oh, you think so? She said, but I was just thinking, I said, but Chris, I wish I was creative like you. I said, but yeah, I wish I had a marketing skill. I all two started laughing. We started to encourage one another. Her marketing skills is off the roof. I mean, she is excellent at marketing anything. And she was just there admiring my creativity skills. I was there admiring her marketing skills. I can't know if I said, bro, the more got good marketing skills, I said, I can't even sell free mosquito. Ross said, free milk candy, I can't even market it, my dear. She said, I cannot do that. She said, I don't have that kind of skill. Then I said, what? You know the kind of skills that Frog. I said, Frog, I wish the way you can, you know how to put things, you can design stuff like crazy. I wish I had that skills that had to empower one another, because we all are different. There is no way you can be me, I cannot be you. But all of us got some uniqueness to ourselves that is admired by each and every one of us. So instead of you envy that uniqueness of your friend, you want to admire it, because some of the uniqueness of yourself you do not see. When you start to admire her uniqueness, she will start to tell you about your uniqueness. Then you start to think about it. Most people don't even know their talent until they learn it from somebody. They say, oh, you're very talented. They say, oh, rather than they start to think about it, they start to boost their self-esteem up. Before you look, they start to create things and they start to be talented in a field of work. They start to do other things. Say, oh, the person said they saw the skill in me. I will put effort into it, and then I will be able to do good. Before you look, they become something major in society, because their friend were able to boost their self-esteem. That's women empowerment. Just shut down negativity.
But Chris, you remember when we came to the embassy and we were talking, when we went to the embassy for the protest, the rape protest last August, and we were talking, and I said, so I think after we were talking, say, sister, what all that pot you give me, if you could just give me small that pot, say, I will be happy. He said, but look at you, your body is shapely. Your body might not be big like mine, but you got body. Look at you, get shape, you got this and that. Every one of us have something on us that is beautiful that we don't realize is beautiful about us. You understand? Every one of us has skills, even if you're no wild offender. That didn't take away anything from you that God has given you. Your nose can be wild, and somebody else will see you and love you for that wild nose, because they say everything God made was beautiful. He looked at it, he said it's beautiful. So, and he said we are all wonderfully and beautifully made. So nobody is ugly. It's just for somebody to encourage you about what you have. That big nose that you have, I'm sorry, I gotta say it. That your nose that you have, you're thinking that it's big. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror? Your nose might be big, but look at your this. Look at your that. Look at how it fits how well it fits.
Yeah, and you need to your face.
How well your face is proportional to your nose. Look. You build the person confidence up. You boost them up. You let them know what's even though men say in the eyes of men, they say it's ugly, but you have to see the beauty in it and point the person to the beauty of that thing. Instead of dragging it in the mud, my sister, that other knows where you get auntie, no man will ever look at you because it's too wide. No, you cannot say that, because in as much as that person knows it's wide, there's something beautiful about the width of the nose, something beautiful about it, and you have to see through a different lens to look at that person and tell them, you feel this way about this certain thing on your body, but let me tell you what this thing does for you, what it makes you to look like. I mean, that we just talking on the physical aspect of things now. But so many things in life, so many ways we can point each other in the right direction. So many things we can do, but we just don't do it. And I will say it right now and on this right now and on this platform. There is a particular advocate on this blue app. I think she's when she speaks, you can see the genuineness in her advocacy. You understand? You see it. It's not hidden. I think it's a skill. I think it's a talent, and I think it's a gift. You know, but you see it. You can't deny it. You can't deny it. It's her gift. You can't take it away from her. You know, so everybody got something about them. The word is women empowerment, not women in lower men. I don't even know if in lower men is a word, but I will make up my own word right now. It's women empowerment, not women in lower men, not to lower the other person. That to empower the other person means to lift them up. If I have a skill, like Grace here, I say, Grace, I got to teach you how to do the thing, man. You got to learn it by force, by fire. And now what you and myself be talking about? I said the other thing is if oh you know how to do it. I said no sis, you have to learn it. It's not that difficult. It just takes time. We will sit and we'll go through it, you will learn it. In fact, when you learn it, you will probably do it better than I do. Don't I tell you that?
Of course.
We learn
That's empowerment.
we learned it. I came into advocacy knowing nothing. There's so much that you have taught me that I didn't know. And you continue to teach me. I came from the other side of the world, and there's so many other things. I said, Grace, you know this. Grace, you know what that. And Sister God, no, what about this way? What about that way? What about we structure it this way? What about we not structure it this way? And we learn together and we move forward. That's empowerment. And we do it with other people too. I mean, not everybody, and I just want to say, not everybody is receptive to empowerment. Not all women are receptive to empowerment. Some people you try to empower and they feel that who you think you are. You think you know everything, and what you try.
It depends on how you try to do it though, because some people can be condescending. They want to tell you good things, but the way they say it, like you nothing. So sometimes you have your presentation too is very important when you're trying to help people out.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that too. But then sometimes too, some people so high and mighty about themselves, they feel that they have hit the sky. They're just floating in the sky. That you can't tell them anything. They know it all. Who are you? You just a plebeian. What can you tell me? Some people got up. What can you tell me? Attitude I've been for so long. What can you say to me? Some people got an attitude.
Yeah, but purpose but why more women cussing on Facebook if women empowerment? We don't know, my dear. We just try to not be the people who will be cussing on Facebook, but we don't know why the people cussing on Facebook. It's not easy. The thirst is real. That Liberian government is a good meat. Everybody won't get a piece. So they will be cussing each other on Facebook. We not a part of that. We will never be a part of that. Sometimes we're talking a little bit of politics because we have to say it to put our people in the right line so they can know what they're doing because to go this vote of 2023 is very crucial. So we too we getting on board in Liberia to really campaign because we want our people to vote the right person in. So we already putting our communities together. So we know, but we're not gonna be a part of the cussing crew and the insulting crew and dragging each other name and saying lies about one another. We're not gonna be a part of that. It's not that serious. It's just not that serious. So I will read Diana's stuff, but let me just read. Let me just say this: to be open and honest is another way of empowering women. When you got a sister friend and you have to tell them the truth. You know you can't continue to lie to them if they're not doing right. You have to be able to be honest. It says, you know, I love you to death, but this one you're doing is wrong. And and most of the time for me, I think I got that game. I will tell you bullet as it is. I don't know how to hold back. I would just have to tell you because I do it out of love, because I don't want you to mess up. Some people don't see it that way. They say, oh, well, who is she to come and tell me? But I would tell you because if I can't tell you, then I'm not your friend. And if it caused me to lose you as a friend, then bye, because it means that you don't want to learn. I don't want to be around dumb people who don't want to learn and change their behavior. I want us, as I grow in life and grow and seeing things that I is in life, I want my friends to grow along with me. I want us to learn better together. But if you want to do Sister Noe or and when you're doing something you don't want nobody to tell you, then I can't be your friend. So that's another way of women empowerment. You gotta be open and you gotta be honest. Advocate for female police. We see things that are happening here. there was a case. I always bring the Kimaya case. One of our sister girlfriend was harassed for sex, and we saw most women were not talking at all about it. They felt there was nothing wrong with it, and they were not talking about it. They were not trying to say anything about it. They felt it was it's a normal thing, you know. And our society made us to feel that way. So some of us felt sorry for them that they still live in the Asian age, in the cave life, but you know, more people who have come up and talk about it, but most people did not do that because it was not. I mean, they felt that, you know what, I think got nothing to do with me, so I'm not going to talk about it. But women empowerment, when you see something wrong, and I don't care whether you don't even like the person, but you saw that this thing that happened to them was wrong, it's your duty to come out and speak on it. And most time that we like to do that because a lot of drama was going on Facebook once upon a time, and we as Lwani women, we intervene. We were able to talk to people and tell them, look, what you're doing is wrong. You need to stop because other people feel that you're bullying them. So that's women empowerment. But we did not have to go back to the other woman and say, oh yeah, you know, we just coming for talking for you that she bullying you, because we don't want it to look like gossip. But we just went to the other person and told them and say, look, people feel bullied. You need to stop what you're doing, and so everybody can live in peace. You know, so there where we are. We bring Vera back on because she's having technical difficulties. So that way you have to advocate for your friend. You have to lead by example. You who call yourself leaders, you have to be in the leadership role. For you to be a leader, you have to be able to empower other people. You can't be claiming to be leadership role. You on top of this, and you brought this to light. And then when people speak about what you're doing, maybe they don't like it, then you block them from your Facebook page. Then you delete them as friends. When y'all go back in the caucus and y'all talk about them, then you remove them as your friend. That's not women empowerment. Then you're not a leader, because a leader is supposed to be able to listen to all the sides of people who don't like you, people who like you. You have to listen to everybody, and make sure that you try to do the right thing that you think is right, that will benefit everybody from both angles. You can't only be leader to people who like you. If you only leader to people who like you, then you are not a leader. That is not empowerment. You have not empower any, because if the person kind of says something that because you don't like Nana, you just block them from your Facebook page, and drove what people follow these kind of people, and that's the thing that's destroying our country. But we're talking about women empowerment. You have to lead by example. You can't kind of tell other people, oh, you want this to happen, you want them, and you doing the worst. Then how are you leading by example? How are you empowering? How are you empowering other women?
But I wanted to say something, Grace. Propo mentioned women. He said something about women empowerment, but then there are women out here insulting each other. But it's not just women out here insulting each other. There are people who deem themselves as talk show hosts on this blue app who talk about women badly, use terrible words, and some women find it funny. Some women support him. In fact, they gave him thumbs up every time he insults a woman female part, or he refers to a woman female part. They think it's okay. And there are also men who think it's okay. I see some people who disagree, but it's like of the following he has, 95% of them agree with that kind of behavior. So it's not just women out here insulting women, it's men also doing the same thing, and women supporting women and men alike supporting that person and think that it is okay. A lot of hosts or talk show hosts or men hosts on this blue app, they talk down women. Look at it, Agostina and Mo Ali case. The women that came after Agostina were more than the men. To bring her down were more than the men. And then the men jump on the bandwagon and start to use all kind of vulgarity and all kind of demeaning insults against her for getting an old man who put himself in a position. They totally vindicated him and just removed him from the situation and went after the female. So I just wanted to say to Propo, it's men and women alike on this blue app.
Well, Popo is saying to you that the topic today is on women empowerment. You know, he said we're not talking about men, but they know.
Yeah, women empowerment. But guess what? If a man if you got a wife and you as a man, you encourage women empowerment in her life, there is no way she's going to go out and demean and lower another woman, because the man that is standing behind her have backed her up and gave her. So you as a woman, you have to take the lead for other women. The man that is standing behind her back and saying her, you have to take the lead. And if you stay in the gap to uplift women, then you have to be an example. You cannot be on the opposite side, but yet and say you want to empower women. So men are still involved. Yes, we're saying women empowerment. Women empowerment is just a term, but men are still involved, because you think who encourage us to do the things that we do? All the empowerment we do, our husbands encourage us. Without their encouragement, sometimes we don't even know how far we will go, because it's a hard job. It is a hard job trying to encourage other women. Women dealing with women is not an easy thing. It is not an easy thing. So
Okay.
regardless, men are still involved.
They're still involved. So May Koto Blessing, she said, thanks, lady. Your topic is very encouraging. You are welcome, May. And Diana Curtis said, women who take other women men are women who are not independent. They are always out there looking for men to help them. This is called fear. A good woman will help her husband climb higher and make their home or family great. If a man leaves his wife for his wife friend, that man will always go back to his wife. That's a good one. We're waiting for that one to happen. But then, yeah, other ways that we still talking about, Dana, you made a very good point. Other ways that we still talking about ways to empower women that other women can use to empower other women. Ways that that can be used for other women to empower other women. You support women run businesses. You show your support for women in your community by investing in the businesses that is run by women. To the organizations that have things that are going, you try to donate to it, especially when a women organization, women empowering other women. But it's hard to see that women empowering other women is hard, especially more black women. They don't empower one another, they rather empower the men. You will see a woman will be doing a business, she'll be doing everything. Even women organization, they are way less than when it comes to men organization, because when men open an organization, the women then will run there to empower the men and show, yes, show support to the men business, rather they will ever before they will ever show support to a woman business. I don't know why. I don't know why I say, and so that's why we women we take away from one another, and then we cry about inequality because we are our own defeat. We are our own defeat because we don't empower one another at all. You know, in organization. But I would say thank you to most of the women on this app that have been donating to the Liberian Women Advocacy Network International movement. You guys are doing well. But let me tell you the truth. To all natural things, the men have donated to the organization more than women ever have done. And that's why we lacking the women empowerment. Are you supporting women own business? Are you supporting women own business? Are you encouraging your sisters out there that are doing working like people? Are you encouraging them by donating to the cause? Especially when you see the work is being done. You guys see on Facebook like the people are already doing the work. Are you encouraged to even donate to that? Are you taking all your money? Some of you are working two jobs. The other paycheck for one of those men in that on Facebook, and the other paycheck for you. But you will never do it for a sister. You will never do it for a sister. So that's what we ask. You have to support women run businesses. You have to know your own worth. That's women empowerment. You have to know your own worth. And for you to help others to know their worth, you have to give them information for them to know their own worth. You know, for you to help others to know their own worth, you have to give them information to know their own worth. Not to have information that will help other women and then you hold it. You say, no, I can't give it. I'm not telling them, who can get that information? Who come they come because you want to so excel, and then people that you will not excel, you will not be successful because you hold back information that could help somebody else. You did not save a day. And those kind of things, you know, one thing about karma, it comes right back. So you hold the information, the person, you will hold it for another 10 years, but when the person get it, you'll be holding that information for 10 years, but you can't excel in that thing. When the person just know the information in less than 1 year, the person can and take over. They're running way in from because you hear that information and call in like it, so he made you not to succeed in that particular space. So do you know your worth? Are you helping other women to know their worth? Since you the educated one, or since you got the information, are you helping other women to know their worth? Are you holding it back for them? Joy, you want to come in and say something on that part?
Well, if they got the info, if they got the information and they want to hold it, they hold it. The only thing the one thing I can say about information, you can't hold it for too long, because if you don't want to be the source of that information, somebody else will be the source of that information. That's just how information works. Information don't stay. It does not stay hidden.
Well, it depends on your cycle as well. Some people will not know some stuff for the rest of their life because the people they mingle with, The people got that information, but they refuse to give them that information.
Why
That's why
we
it's always good to broaden yourself. Always be friends with all kinds of people. Because if you stick yourself in one area, in one cave with some people who just selfish, you're not gonna be able to reach out for the things that you're supposed to get in this world. Because those people will just keep you stagnant because you just there under them. So don't let nobody want oh, you know that one, like, oh, you can't be friends with her. No. Try to open up yourself because you never know the person who didn't like that person could help you. The reason why they didn't like that person had nothing to do with you. Ain't got nothing to do with you. So you have to open up, get to know other people so they can hold information from you. Because the more people you know, the more information you will get in this world. And the
yeah,
more you will succeed.
have to broaden your cycle. Don't just be a sycophant to one person or be a sycophant to a particular group of people. And then based on what they have discussed about other people, you hold on to it and you refuse to deal with the other people. You're cheating yourself in life because most of the time people will just have for no reason have some kind of malice against somebody else, and that person not even aware that somebody else got malice against them, and for what? They have no clue. They're just going on doing what they feel that the Lord has called them to do or what God has put in the spirit. They're just exercising what God has instructed them to do. And somebody else sitting now on the other side, not knowing that what that person doing is irritating the demon. And they're talking all kinds of things. And the person have no clue. You have to broaden your cycle. Me, I'm friends with all kind of people. We say here all kind of things. I got small children friend. I even got my son. What I have learned from my son, if I had sat there and say, oh, you know, that's just a little boy, a little 11-year-old boy, what can he teach me? What I have learned from him, what he has exposed me to, I would have never been exposed to it had I not sat with him or had he not said, oh, mommy, can I teach you? And I agree. If I had been all pompous and say, where are your mom? What can you teach me? I'm supposed to teach you. I would have learned nothing from him. I have learned so much from the little child, especially when it comes to technology. I was just plain old clueless. The only thing I wanted phone for, as long as I was able to call, as long as I was able to text and go on Facebook, that was fine for me. I didn't care for knowing anything else. Everything else that I've learned to do is because he has taught me and he continues to teach me. Everything I come from where he said, mommy, you know, I learned this other thing. I think it will be useful to you and Lwani. You know, mommy, you like to do this other thing. Hey, you know how any grace you can be doing it. Maybe you can do the other way will look nice, and I'm receptive. In life, we have to be receptive of everyone that come our way. No one is beneath us. We are all on the same level and we can all learn from each other. For me, anybody who want to teach me anything, I'm open to it. I'm not proud to learn anything from anybody. That's just who I am. The information too plenty in the world for somebody to consume and all of it. You will never be able to get all of it. We all need it. So I just want to say that women empowerment, we need to do better. We
Yeah.
as women, we really, really need to do better because the work is great. Especially when we're talking about our nation, Liberia, the work is too great. It's too massive. And we need to come to a point, we haven't gotten there yet, but we need to come to a point where we just have to say, you know what? All this bickering, all this foolishness, some of which we are not even aware of among each other, the time has come. Let everybody just come to the table. We create our own table and just come to the table and say, I don't care what your issue is with me. I don't care what my issue is with you. This is the table that we have
But
created. Table.
it's not about issue with Liberian people, mommy. It's not about issue. Everybody won't be on the top. That's the problem. It's not that they actually have an issue with you. They just want, I mean, they someone in their attention, they can get in the house, they want to make sure they get it from
Okay,
somewhere else. So something it's not about issue, it's about everybody just looking for recognition. Everybody want to say, I did this and I did that. It was me who did this, it was me who did it. And that's the problem with the library. It's not that they so hate somebody did something to them. No. They just about, and that's why the country is not going anywhere. That's why the women groups and the women empowerment is not even right now. Like we got women empowerment because everybody just want to be at the top. But in this world, everybody cannot be at the top. Some people got to be in the middle of the tree. Some people got to be on them, and we all got to be pushing each other up. Pushing each other up, but there have to be some people at the top, and God just have put in there. Sometimes you just have to recognize it. Some people, they don't even know their gift. They don't even know calling. They want to force their saying other callings. And then when they get there, they want to take it by force. And you cannot take leadership by force. It doesn't work that way. Leaders are not, they're not made. Leaders are born. The people go, oh yeah, you can become a leader, you do that. No. Some people, I don't care what they do, they are not meant to stay in the leadership position. It's not just for you. I don't care how you went to school for it. I don't care how you go. People will not follow you. Look at the kind of charisma that Barack Obama carried to the White House. You think it was easy for that little senator boy to just leave where he came from and just mastermind the whole thing and go inside in the Senate? If he was born for that. Some people were born for that. We have to recognize and accept. You cannot force your calling. You can try to do other things to bring light to stuff, but doesn't mean you are in a leadership position. It's not your calling. You just got to lace with the person who in a leadership position to get there. The main fact is the focus is to get there. And until I bring people want to focus how to get there instead of focusing how I was there, I did it one, it's not going to work. So it's not about us having issue with one another. It's about people everybody just want to be in the lead. Well, yes, and everybody will not call to be in the lead. It's sad. And that's a form of mental illness as well. That's a form of mental illness.
What I want to say is that you say everybody wants to be at the top. Everybody can be at the top according to their timing. Because if I push Grace to the top, I'm her support. I'm in the bottom. I push Grace up to the top. There's a point in time Grace have to retire from the top and pass the baton on. So when Grace retire from the top, she passed the baton on to Fura. Fura get pushed to the top. Whoever holding Fura up, at some point in time, Fura retires from the top, and that person get pushed to the top. That's empowerment. But the problem we have when other people push people to the top, they don't want to leave the top. They don't recognize time, they don't recognize season. The power say in this life, to everything under the sun, there is a time and there is a season. So the people don't want to recognize time and season, and that is why when they get to the top, they want to stay there till they die. When they die, then that's it. Then the next person move forward. But that's
the thing is that you gotta understand, mommy. Whatever will stay at the car, I gotta make you to understand. Everybody will push one another, but it's people, everybody, you might push me, I might get to the top. You might probably be at the place at the top, you might not even reach there. Somebody else in the bottom will come and pass you and get to the top because God had called them in that calling. The march on Washington did not start with Martin Luther King, girl. It was a man who started the march in 1961. Let's Google it. That man, do you hear his name? Except you wrote to Google him, you will hear who knew what on the top of the whole thing was Martin Luther King when he gave that speech. Because you know what, God had called him for that particular time. So does it mean because the man started the march, mean that he had to forcibly be to the air or he the one, that was his platform? No. Because Martin Luther King was supposed to set this time in record from that particular speech and from the way he was able to talk and from the way he was able to mastermind the crowd, because it was a gift given unto Martin Luther King to do it. Until I bring and understand that. Oh yeah, so we the ones that, we started this thing. We were the one who did this first. It's not going to work. So it's not that we have issue with one another. There's no issue that people don't hate nobody. Some people don't even know one another. It's just that recognition thing that everybody wants to be at the top. It just cannot happen. You just have to push some people will go. I know a man who lived in Liberia. He was even part of that Martin Luther King march. He left this country. He had to give up his life because they put him in jail when they freed him on bail. And how he ran away from here. His name was never called, man. He was never called. Nobody know him today. But he was in that march. When you see pictures, you will see him there in the background. But John Lewis and Martin Luther King, and they didn't want their names were called because God wanted their name to be called at that particular time. Yeah. If you don't know how to empower one another, it's just not going to. Sometimes you will push me, you will be in that place, you will be right to the end of me there. I will retire and all. And maybe you will come on and retire with me. Somebody else will come and they will be at that top because your position was given, but you're not even recognizing your own position. You see what I'm saying? Because you're so looking at the top, you won't hold that top and catch it. And God said you're not catching it because He never born you. You are not meant to reach to that place. Yes. That's
what I was about to say. Even supporting somebody, even pushing somebody to the top is a calling. God can call you to say, you know what? You're going to be the support for this person. And just like you said, I agree with you. Just because I'm upholding you to the top doesn't mean when you retire, I got to replace you. We all can go together and somebody else can come and go to the top, and we all, and you who being at the top, you will come back at the bottom and become a support for that person. So
Exactly.
even being on the bottom is a blessing.
It's a blessing.
Imagine, let's just say, for example, you and I were having a conversation the other night. The house has a foundation. Most of the time when you build a house, people just look at the finished product, the beauty of the house, the aesthetic of the house. They will give all the accolades to the beauty of the house. Oh my God, that house is beautiful. Look at the windows on our house. You see the kind of door knobs that on the door on our house. Nobody gives credit to the foundation that holds that house out. Nobody gives credit to the foundation that is causing that house to stand from year to year, year in, year out. When the storms come, when the lightning is striking, when the thunder rolling, when the winds are blowing and the house is not blown off the foundation, nobody ever gives credit to the foundation. Everybody will come and just look at our house and look at the beauty of it, the kind of aesthetics it has, the windows, the golden commode, the golden sink, and all those things. So being the foundation is a critical position. The top is not always the place to be. Sometimes the foundation is where you need to be. It's where the blessing is.
And maybe you will get the most blessing.
Yeah.
You might not get the popularity, but you will get the most blessing. It will trickle down to your generations to come. But we don't understand it that way. You know who started the march in Washington? You know who started planning the march? Philip Randolph and Boyard Rustin begin planning the march in December of 1961. You don't ever hear them call you Philip Randolph? I don't even know their name. We know Martin Luther King name because God wanted us to know his name. Period. Until our parents understand that country will just be going into sinking place. Until our next generation or children will come and revive that country. People are making noise and not there, man. And not them, man. They will just be making Some of them will get all on the blue. I will see them. They will get all with yelling and shouting. You hear? They will get all with yelling and shouting because they don't know they're calling. They don't know what God has called them for. Everybody will not call with the multitude. Yes, you have to be God calling for everybody. You have to, even look. Yeah. Sometimes you just don't know how to even say the thing. You don't know how to say. We're talking about women empowerment here. We're talking about women empowerment. We're not going to divide. But how are you empowering women? Sometimes you are not called. You see Grace go out and say, oh yeah, Grace go out. Sometimes people who can't even speak. Sometimes people who can't even speak, you even get the blessing of talking, but they got the blessing of when they enter place, everybody just wow, their presence. And sometimes God will call that person in leadership. You just got to say two words when they get to see everybody. And sometimes leadership, the person got to be able to speak. It just varies how God has called you for the position and for the time in which He called you. Some of them you are squeezing yourself, you know, somebody squeezing something in you. You won't get in there, other calling. God call you for something else. Focus on where God has called you and try to push people who God has called. Sometimes you even got an idea, but God never called you to actually give the message. He just gave you the idea. All you need to do is step forward. Like first of all, get a message. You said no, the idea that you don't want to get an idea, you get to get a message. It doesn't work. Sometimes then you start to get a message, you're not going anywhere because you were not called to get an idea, get a message. You were just called, God just gave you the idea so you could deliver it to Grace Currency for me to get a message. You said no, you can't deliver it to me. You will you will die and then we'll bury you with a message. You will carry it. God will find somebody else to bring that message and give to that particular person where He want that message to be able to give that message. Because there's a reason why He gave that person that message, because they have the gift to bring the message to the world for the world to accept the message. Until we understand that crap, we're not going nowhere. But we're talking about women empowerment, though.
That's part of women empowerment too.
That is part of women empowerment.
Either.
Yes. So part of women empowerment is to fight against injustice. Always try to fight against injustice because injustice is wrong. You cannot see a man who say who changed his sexual orientation. He said, you know what, I was born man, but I feel like a woman. And you say, oh no. Then you start to tell people to beat him and try to kill him because his sexual orientation is not of your kind. That is injustice. And we cannot see that thing happening and say we don't talk for the people, we will talk for them, because injustice to one is injustice to all. They deserve to have the right, the human rights given to them. They do not deserve for the human rights to be taken away from them. So we will fight for injustice. Some people say, oh, you're fighting for the gay. Well, yes, they are human beings. Don't you know that God made them? Did he tell you to judge them? You did not go judge your pa was sleeping with your sister. You talk about it. That a man not because he gay. He said no, he's supposed to be gay. That your worry. So we'll continue to fight against injustice. We'll continue to fight against, and that's part of women empowerment. Show your appreciation for a woman in your life. You got your mind right in the horse. Your sister around you. You got your friend. You don't have to be friendly for all this time. You can't even appreciate your friend. The person try your birthday kind of there for you. They put your picture on paper. You stay in Senefa. They call you. Oh yeah, because she can't call me. Ever say my birthday king the money. She call me. Wait, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, but she call you. Show appreciation to the women around you. Thank them. Me, I always tell my sister, say, I thank God for God making you my sister. Because like I will not even deal with nobody else the way me and you can get it. No. So thank God for you and my sister. I always come for tell her thank you for us working in Lwani. Thank you for being a friend to me. I really appreciate you. I do that to some of my other friends too. I call them and I tell them thank you for being my friend. They say, oh, crazy girl, deep with me. I say, yeah, you will think about it one day. And they do think about it. You know, sometimes they will call me back after some 5, 6 months, 2 years. Say you get that time you call me, you really put my spirit up like that all the time. But the idea you appreciate me, I felt good about myself. That's women empowerment. That's women empowerment, people. Keep a girl in the school. Y'all try to do something like that. If you can't do it because you are not called to run organization, then try to list with organization then that 20 every month you get $50 to help. Be there at Frida. Frida said, great, I ain't got much money, but like $10 coming from my paycheck every week I made that money. I will send that $10 to help a child in school. In, like I said, Holy Foundation, that women empowerment. You keeping a child in school. You know how many years because the Holy Foundation be running the scholarship and Frida be paying out the money. She had kept somebody to some girl child in school. That's women empowerment. That's women empowerment. So all these little things. First, you can say your closing what we are about to leave here because when we start to talk, we're not moving here. God will get to your raw.
I mean, everything we basically talk about here, it has to do with women empowerment. We started up in a certain area, and then we went to the middle in a certain area, and then we are ending in a certain area.
Yeah.
Is women are involved in all aspects of life, even in politics. So when we are talking on the political side, that's all part of women empowerment, because there are women in politics who don't uplift each other either. They're not receptive to their fellow women coming into the political arena. They're not receptive either. So that's all part of women empowerment. I just wanted to say to us women, it's about time we put all our differences aside, whatever it is, where it's our own selfish reasons, whether it's whatever reason it is, we don't care. It's about time for us to just take a look and examine our inner selves and say, you know what? It is time for us to make a ring. It is time for us to just make a ring of all women and hold each other's hands, pray together, forget whatever it is or whatever it may be, and we just march forward. Because I'm telling you, women are the one who's going to straighten things out. When women, that's why the power said, no, don't mess with women. Say you can't stand the wrath of a woman. A wrath of a woman is powerful. Can you imagine if all women decide that, you know what? I don't care, Grace, what I heard but you. I don't care what you say or said but me. Or Grace, if you know what? I don't even care what you say. It don't mean anything to me. Let's hold hands. That's where the unity is going to start. That's where the empowerment is going to, we put on shoes. The empowerment will put on pants. The empowerment will get fully dressed. When women that we are putting aside all of our different, and we are just make a ring and we're going to hold hands. Empowerment will be fully dressed and nobody will be able to empowerment. And nobody will be able to cover us as women. We are going to push for what we want. We are going to uplift each other regardless of your status, regardless of your education, regardless of your living condition, regardless if you're a cripple, you are whatever, you are a hopo Joe, you're not a hopo Joe, you're a creep, whatever you are. We are all one. So we start seeing each other one and each other as equals, our rivals. Then empowerment to grow, fully dress, start to march forward along with it. We need better as women. We are when we see this happen, we go into people's inbox. This is what's going on, what's the matter? How can we intervene? Can we intervene? You want us intervene. Sometimes they say yes, I would like for you to intervene. Sometimes they say no, we are okay to intervene. In that case, we will be decision and we will, and that's what we all,
Your phone breaking up.
a sister, you are not to call and say, you know what, I wrong you. What I said the other day was not correct. Don't say if I wrong you. You come back straight and say I wrong you, and you're feeling I'm sorry, wash it and move. That's women empowerment where you can apologize to your fellow or your fellow sister and admit you're wrong. That's also a sign of strength, and that's also a sign of empowerment, and that's a sign of growth, maturity, and with our we need to learn and move on. It's about time. It's long to women. We need better. We preach too much empowerment, empowerment, empowerment. It is just off talk. It's not action. We need something better. It's time. We all need to get better and do something. I don't know who's going to start it. I don't know when it's going to start, but it's long what's happened.
Okay, thank you, Vera. And we are about to close. This is Split Talk, the ninth generation Lwani women. I would like to say thank you for watching. What I would say to you is support organizations that empower women. Always try to support organizations that empower women like Brand Advocacy Network International, Lwani. And do what you can to support the organization, whether you want to give money, or whether you want to give donation, or whether you just want to volunteer, or whether you just want to attend a program, because when you attend a program you pay money to attend a program. That's something you're doing. So this June coming up, we'll be having a masquerade party. We're going to be having a masquerade party, and we're going to send invitation out to your inboxes. We charge money to come to the party. You dress in your masquerade or your mask, and you come to the party. We're doing the party on visual. It's not going to be on Facebook. So we're announcing it now. We send our invitation, and we want you to pay for that ticket, and you want to come to the party, and let's have some fun and talk about things, make fun and do other things. When all this COVID-19 go away, we'll be having a lot of fundraiser programs in Maryland and Pennsylvania, and you can be a part of it. That would be another way of empowering or donating to the cause, because we do a lot of work in Liberia. Lwani does a lot of work in Liberia as Lwani and Legacy Only Foundation, but Lwani is the women group, and we do a lot of work in Liberia. We got people that we employ in Liberia. We empowering girls in Liberia. We teaching them how to do things. We do trainings. Our brother Eric was here. He will train somebody. Sometimes we do virtual training and they get certificated. They are learning. We also help boys as well. We got men in the office. We have a transition house in Liberia. So support the organization that giving out to women, that doing women empowerment. It also a way of your support as a woman. That's your empowerment as well. So we'll come here again next week, but next week is Memorial Day weekend. I'm gonna be having mad fun. I don't know whether we take that Sunday off, but we are here every Sunday at 7 p.m. for 1 hour 30 minutes. So today the show is done. We hope you learn and you take it with you. And what we say here, we say out of love. We just wanted to share that. And we want our country to be better. We want us to be able to support one another and love one another. And because when our children see that, they will also exhibit that same attitude and that behavior for the next generation to come. Go ahead.
Thank you for her name. I just wanted to say publicly, thank you to the lady who made it so long today. So pictures of work that we put over the weekend. What is her name? I just
Your phone breaking up bad. I don't know why.
it's still
So we wanted to say thanks to Princess Wisa. Princess Wisa, thank you for your donation to Lwani today, and we appreciate you. And we also want to say all thanks to all the people that always donate to us to do the work in Liberia. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and make sure you have a beautiful week. And the only way to have a beautiful week is just to be calm, cool, and collective. Make sure you think about stuff before you do it. Don't do anything out of anger. Don't approach nobody out of anger, because a lot of bad things happen in the world. You don't want to be caught up in any mess. You just want to live your life, the beautiful life that God has given you, and empower the people that are around you. Show appreciation to them, other women that are around you, and also to your husbands and to your friends, And what is life if you just not happy? You can't help somebody. Think about that. You guys have a nice day, a nice evening. Goodbye.